last week I was going through a very dark phase and I thought about completely giving up on my music. But I'm still here, and in this video I'm going to explain why I did not give up. So, I went through a dark patch last week and had some pretty bad withdrawals from nicotine and weed, and or just me being sober for so long and working on myself, unmasked something dark within myself, some trauma or whatever it is. I wasn't feeling great. Hello, little lightning bug. I wasn't feeling great. I was depressed and empty and demotivated, but still burnt out, because even though I wasn't motivated, I was doing everything and more. And I started to daydream about smoking again and vaping and playing video games all day, like I used to whenever I was a kid before I had any ambitions. And I was thinking about how happy I felt. Meow. I thought about meow. I thought about how happy I felt back then, how the dopamine and the games and smoking weed and processed foods, everything just kept me satisfied, and I would just fill up on those things and zone out like a zombie. But I wasn't thinking about it like that back then. It was just what I did for fun, and it started to sound really enticing, and that's why I relapsed. But that's other videos. And I went back to sobriety not long after relapsing, after I realized that those things aren't fulfilling and they don't make me feel alive and as happy as they did inside of my imaginary world in my head. And sure, they might have at one point whenever I was a kid and they were new really been fun or exhilarating, but it really wasn't those things that made them exhilarating and necessarily. I mean, the rush was great, but I'm having trouble explaining this. It's not just the rush. It's the experience, the fact that it was a new experience. And now that I'm older and I've already experienced those things like 1,000 times, 10,000 times, and I've experienced something deeper, something with more fulfilling, something that means a lot more to me. In fact, I remember whenever I first started street performing and writing music and making videos and more street performing and more performing and being there in person, playing my own original songs, that was far more exhilarating and far more fulfilling. Like, the feeling of fulfillment is far more intense and just satisfying than the feeling of getting high, eating processed foods, and playing video games all night. The only thing that made the video games more fulfilling or better was the fact that I would do it with people, so there was a sense of a community at times. But with music and YouTube, I'm a part of a sense of a community and something that is beneficial for the well-being of the world, or for the well-being of people and animals, for the well-being of people, not just for their entertainment. Although I like the entertainment aspect also, but it's a different type of entertainment. It's so, with that being said, here I was a week ago not feeling great, just thinking about relapsing and going back into those things, and it crossed my mind. I thought about just letting go of all the weight of success from my music and not worrying about ever succeeding, and then what it would feel like to not have to worry about making next week's upload. Although I've already got like a month of uploads ready to go. So next month's week's upload. And it started to feel really enticing to be able to just let go and to be able to just smoke, play video games, and escape into the video game world rather than worry about the next song, the next upload, and whether or not I'm ever going to make it. But then, of course, not long after that, I realized, obviously, how foolish this thought is, and I dug deeper and looked inside of myself, and there's just something inside of me that really wants to create music, and really, I mean, that's why I've been so driven. That's why I've done this for so long. It's why I went homeless for this. That's why I hitchhiked to New York from Missouri in winter weather for this. It's why I played a song for 24 hours straight. I did some things. I've been very determined because of how I feel about this on my insides of myself. And I feel very strongly about it. I still do. The passion is still very, very, like, bright within me. Even though my body at times gets worn out, and my mind too, I've realized that what I should let go of is my expectations. And I say this a lot, I've said this a lot, and I've realized this a lot, but realizing it and actually doing it are pretty hard. They're two very different things. And I should just let go of the desire to be famous, the desire to ever make it, and I should just dive into the process and just create music, create videos, create things that I enjoy creating, that mean something to me, and that I think will help someone or inspire someone. As simple as that. And if it ever just constantly becomes like grind and friction and feels like I'm really not enjoying it at all, and it's not something I would be proud of on my deathbed, then I shouldn't do it. But whenever I think about it, it is something that I would be proud of on my deathbed. I would be ashamed if I gave up on it. I would be ashamed on my deathbed if I looked back and at age 31 I gave up on a dream that I worked on for 10 years, and I dedicated so much time, more than 10 years really. Since I've been 13 I've been writing songs. I just didn't decide to go after it till the age of 18, and I'm 31 now. And I didn't really start going after it until like 22, 23. But I say 10 years just because it's so vague, and there's so many points where I just wasn't going after it until really the age of like 22, 23. But there were some points where I was before then. But anyway, if I look back on my deathbed, I would be ashamed and feel bewildered at the fact that I gave up on trying to bring this into reality, and I just went into a day job and was content with that. Like, I mean, I'm already at a day job, but I'm saying I just decided to become a manager at, or fully give myself to some day job and give up on the music and then just start smoking and playing video games all the time and not really caring about my impact on the world or what I do, or really caring about my ambitions and inner desires, just letting go of those, I would feel ashamed. And the only thing that really makes me want to give up on music is expectations. And if I allow the fact that I have not succeeded enough at YouTube and music to have a fan base to do this full time, if I allow that to make me feel bad about myself, then that's unhealthy, and that's the only thing that makes me like feel like there's friction. And so I just need to let go of the expectations. I need to let go of this desire to get somewhere with my music and just do it. And just continue to see how I can do it better. And also, in the opposite note, if I think about how far I've come, how many songs I've written, how many people I've reached and inspired, everything I did as Z-Man in Columbia, Missouri, all of the people who recognize me. I've had people recognize me around the state, which is a wonderful feeling. It's not like I do it for the fame, but it's the fact that my energy, my performances, it's never been my talent or even necessarily my music. It's my energy, my performances. People have said time and time again. That's what's made me stand out, and my grit or my consistency, my unwillingness to give up. Now, people have said I've come a long way, like my voice and stuff, which is cool too. And I have. I used to be much, much worse. And I'm at least to the point where I'm not absolutely horrible. And I have a very unique voice, I do. Not saying that as an excuse as to why I don't really sing that good. But I do have a unique voice. And so these are all amazing things that I do not want to give up on. And I also just have a desire to record at least like 32 more songs. Specifically, I have like 32 more songs in mind. Probably more like 16 songs in mind. Some are, I'm redoing songs, some songs are newer songs. But then after all of those are done, I'm probably going to make brand new songs, as I always do. Because I also still have a desire to just sit down and just freestyle and just make up songs. Like it's fun. I thoroughly enjoy doing it. I've done it ever since I was a kid, and ever since I found the world of music. Well, it's all one world, but ever since I found the dimension of music in this world, of music creation, and being able to create with it, being a co-creator, it's like being a co-creator in this world. I can co-create experiences and moments and soundscapes inside the world, and it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling to create music, but then adding the psychological aspect to it. I can create music, then I can add a story over it. I can sing a story over it. I can sing a certain concept of a song. Anything you can think of that still just brightens me up and lightens me up like fire. And then being able to use that passion to help animals, to inspire people to live a more compassionate and conscious life. there's something in that hits me in my stomach, in my core, and in my heart. Something about that just far more intense than any drug or game or junk food has ever made me feel. Something I feel like I can die for. Something I still feel like I can keep doing to the grave. Although spiritually, I know even this is something I want to transcend. This isn't it. This isn't the be it end all. And that's another thing, is seeing this as the be it end all to all my problems can create more problems. It creates an expectation for something that isn't meant to really take me all the way in life. But it's not something I'm meant to just give up on. And so I'll fully embrace it for what it is and fully give myself to it for a certain amount of time. And until I find some type of success. And I don't need to go back to a day job, and I can do this full time. And then after I do that for a while, until I'm in like my 60s, then I'll probably retire in some form and turn into some spiritual guy even more. Like I'll go down the spiritual route. I'll meditate even more, and I'll figure that out even more. I mean, I'll meditate every single day, but I'm saying that will become my dominant, is meditation and spiritual and figuring life out on deeper levels rather than through my music and inspiring people. But before then, I'm not giving up. I'm not surrendering. That's kind of rip off of a movie quote, but it's not the same. Anyway, I will not give up. I will not surrender. Something like that. It's a good feeling to have something, to have purpose. And I just got to go about it consciously and not get burnt out and not expect this purpose to be a be it end all for my life and to solve all my life problems. And if I fully give myself to it in a healthy way, not to where I'm not getting sleep and eating enough, but as much as I can, and just give in to the process and let go of that expectation of trying to make it and become famous, then it can become a very beautiful process that uplifts me in my life. It doesn't push me down and make me feel burnt out. And it makes going back to playing video games and smoking and all that seems so very obsolete and so shallow and something that I would never do. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do, is go down this route of embracing the process, fully giving myself to this in a healthy way. Thanks for watching. For the animals! Woo!